Hey, good morning. Welcome to Energy Matters. What am I talking about, Faith? On the radio. Welcome to Community Focus. You know, my life revolves around electrical plugs, right? So I've got, my electric car. I'm always talking about solar. I'm always talking about energy efficiency. But in Community Focus, we're talking about cities like Doraville. And Faith, Doraville was the first city Wendy and I lived in. We lived at Aspen Woods Entry in a little condo out there that we rented. We went to Mario's de Doraville, our favorite Italian restaurant, and we had a great time living in Doraville. Those joining us, Faith Henning, my assistant, she's at the Capitol today. I'm in an undisclosed location. We've got Maya Hasek. Maya, good to have you on. Can't wait to have a good conversation with you today. My friend Russell Seifert from Creative Solar. Russell putting solar on houses and fields and businesses all over Georgia. And our human trafficking focus with Charlene Fang, a Taiwanese leader in Doraville. Charlene, how are you doing today?
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioner.
Yeah, we're going to move everybody to the green room except for the mayor, and we're going to talk with the mayor about what's going on in Doraville. Mayor, Buford Highway, cuts through the heart of Doraville, and it's, everything's on Buford Highway. I've gone up and down it forever. I went to church off of Buford Highway. Is Buford Highway still kind of the main thoroughfare for Doraville?
Yeah, I would say definitely Buford Highway is our main thoroughfare, and to a large extent, it's what makes the city stand out in the metro region at the very least, because people come here from all over for authentic international experiences, and very, very important to us. I think that for a long time the corridor has been somewhat neglected, which is something that I've been working with the city council to address. We've got a lot of older development along Buford Highway, some of which has been empty for a long time. So one of our goals has really been trying to spur economic development in those empty pockets along Buford Highway. And I'm really proud that in the last year, the city council rezoned the entire stretch of Buford Highway in the city of Doraville to allow for mixed use development. Previously you could only have single use type developments along the corridor, and our hope is that it spurs more walkable mixed use development that bring more people and more businesses here. At the same time we're grappling with how do we do that and not lose what makes the corridor special. So yeah, it definitely is the heart of our city, and we're taking special care of it.
Mayor, I think and Faith, I don't know if you've ridden MARTA. I mean, you live out on the east side of town, so I don't know if you've ridden MARTA through Doraville.
Last time I rode MARTA was with your daughter several years ago.
Okay. But Mayor, for a long time, I think the two landmarks that people were familiar with in Doraville was the General Motors plant, right? The old General Motors plant, and the Doraville MARTA station, because people would, and I would do this, I would go and park there or have someone drop me off there and go to the airport. So Doraville was a popular hub for getting to the Atlanta airport. Where do those two assets, how are they playing in Doraville's future right now?
Well, I think that the Doraville MARTA station, if you look at past decisions that city leaders made, I think getting a MARTA station to come to Doraville was one of the greatest assets that former city leaders brought here. And if you look at just development around Metro Atlanta, so much of it has happened around MARTA stations. So I'll first start with one of the city council's goals over the next year, and actually we're partnering with Urban Land Institute to do a technical assistance panel, has been to look at the 10 acres of land that the city owns, as well as adjacent parcels, and look at how can we reposition this and maybe work with a development partner to sort of kickstart development there. Because if you've been to the Doraville MARTA station, you know, the MARTA station is there, but there's not a lot of other amenities for people to enjoy. You know, it's a great place for housing. It'd be a great place for a lot of businesses, and could be a great connection point for the rest of Buford Highway as well. So one of my goals is to better utilize the land that the city currently owns, and you know, make that sort of the beating heart of, you know, spurring further economic development in the city of Doraville. I think the other piece, obviously, the GM plant was one of the biggest investments that any company ever made in the city of Doraville. Came here in 1948 and operated through 2008. So, you know, for that 60-year span, it was the biggest employer in Doraville. We had a lot of people who worked there, retired there. And when it shut down, it left a hole essentially in the middle of the city. You know, we've been working with various groups with the county to try to develop it. We're really excited because you know, recently the site was sold to a new owner, Gray Television, which is a major, I think they're the second biggest owner of television stations in the United States, Georgia-based company. Their headquarters is in Brookhaven. They had a need for a lot of production space, and they're a well-capitalized company. You know, they've got the money to invest in the project. So they're moving on a very aggressive schedule to get started with redeveloping that site to make it into essentially a studio city. And they expect to break ground in July, and they would like the first productions to start in the first half of next year. And I just say that, you know, it's not just going to be studio space. They're also still planning to put in, you know, housing, which is certainly needed in Doraville. You used to live here many years ago, but, you know, the majority of our housing stock is from the 50s and 60s. So we do need newer housing to, you know, especially if we're bringing people in from the film industry. I think that there's also going to be some retail components too, but it's all going to be built around this Studio City concept. So we're really excited about it.
Last question, America. We've got some great guests today from your city. You know, with so many internationals in Doraville, you know, and internationals are really, as they come here, they start businesses, they're entrepreneurs. You've got a lot of entrepreneurs in your city, and entrepreneurs just think about things differently. They make a special contribution, obviously, you know, from the extraordinary work of, like, for example, I go to the White Windmill Bakery, and I have, you know, I meet people there. That's one of my go-to spots there. You know, I guess that's just on the outskirts of your city. But what is it like? What is it like being an official in a city full of entrepreneurs, risk takers, people that are putting everything on the line, that are financing their businesses out of their back pocket? What's that like?
Well, I think I think that I think that where Doraville maybe is different than some other places is not only are there a lot of entrepreneurs, family businesses, but I also think that sometimes you know, there are people coming from all over the world. So we're really having to reach out and try to get to where those people are. And what I want to make sure is that we do not put any regulations in place that negatively impact those businesses, and that we're working with them in partnership to
love that.
Really kind of get things through. So she is retired now, but I see Charlene Fong has come on screen, and Charlene for a long time served as a very important liaison between the city of Doraville and many members of the Asian business community. And you know, she's stayed involved, and she still is someone that I rely on heavily for a lot of that. And I'm glad that when I reached out to her about this, she was willing to come on board. And Commissioner Eccles, thank you so much for for having me as well.
Thank you, Mayor. And Charlene, before we started, Charlene and I were in the green room talking just about the whole human trafficking issue. That's such an important part of what Faith and I do out of my office, just as a non-energy thing. And so, Charlene, I know you don't formally work. You're not formally our human trafficking guest, but you provided some great insight before. And Maya is coming on and talking about that. But Charlene, you've done a lot with volunteer efforts. You've worked with the library, senior services, and is the community in Doraville? I know the mayor said the housing stock was older, but is it an aging community there in Doraville? You would think there'd be a lot of young people moving in, but it sounds like that there's a lot of services required for seniors.
Yes. First of all, I like to say thank you, the mayor, to introduce me, and Commissioner, you invite me for this conversation. And I like to say that before say anything, when you mentioned about the Mario Italian restaurant, and I was like laughing about that, because Mario Italian restaurant, I was working at the first Asian community bank in Doraville area, at Doraville, Chambly, Beaufort Highway for 21 years. That's why I know Doraville, I know Beaufort Highway so well. And the Mario restaurant also is the one I was trying to approach to be my customer. And Mo is my good friend. Later on, we got good friends. I just want to say, yes, that's a good restaurant. I love to go all the time.
Yeah, Faith, Mario's de Doraville had these little garlic rolls.
Yeah.
They were little yeast rolls, and they brought them to you in a bowl of garlic. It was like
Yes,
it was like addictive. It was like, yeah, and they would keep bringing them. It's like, Wendy and I in our 20s, we would go there.
Oh my God, it's so small world.
Gobble those things up, but I can't do that anymore.
But that's a funny thing. It's Italian. They call the Italian restaurant, but actually, Mo, the owner, is Iranian, and his big chef is Vietnamese, and all the employees Iranian. The only one bartender is Italian. That's
Wow.
Very combined. It's a very, very combined.
It's truly an international restaurant.
Yes. And
Well, Charlene, you're doing a lot of community work. You're our good citizen on our StreamYard today, and we just publicly wanted to say thank you for all the good stuff that you're doing. What's one of the projects you're most excited about that's going on right now?
Right now, that really asks me, touch my heart, makes me get more involved is after pandemic, all the Doraville senior, we supposed to have a monthly senior luncheon, we totally shut down. We haven't been reach out those seniors for a long time. So after mayor mentioned to us, there is one called the Silver Leaves Senior Center. They have 17 seniors over there. They need help. So make us, those volunteers, start to pay attention for, hey, it's a time to pay attention for those people need help and they cannot get out because of COVID. So that's the started. We start to reach out those people, and we reach out the Doraville seniors. There is a lot of seniors, and they need to say hi to them. They are not poor, but they are lonely. They are stay home, cannot be reach out outside. So we do every Tuesday we do the sandwich. We just say hi to you. Hi, Marian. Hi, everybody. They are so happy they're waiting for us. And we service so many Indian people, Latino family, and we have a Bangladesh family. They are waiting for us. Even cannot have communicate each other. They're waiting for us. That is the goal right now. We're trying to reach out all those seniors in Doraville, which is very diversity, very diversity.
Wow.
That's our goal.
Well, thank you for your work. Funny story before we bring Maya on. I went to Shanghai, right, to speak at a Chinese nuclear conference, and was making my way eventually to make my way to Haiyang on an airplane to see the nuclear plant they were they were building, which is just like the one that we're building. So I got to Shanghai in late evening. Your time zone is messed up, right? So it's exactly opposite. So I woke up really, really early that Sunday morning, like at 4 a.m. or something like that. I couldn't sleep. So I went over to the People's Square Park. It's almost like Central Park. And there was a group of seniors, Charlene. They were doing the Tai Chi, but I found some playing badminton. Okay. So I thought, at Georgia, I took badminton 1 and badminton 2. So I thought I was a pretty good badminton player. So they can't speak a lick of English. I can't speak a lick of Chinese. So, but I was there watching and smiling, and an older woman who was probably 15 years older than me, right? She says, "Yeah, come in." She didn't say it like that, but she waved the racket. They gave me a racket, so I'm now playing a woman 15 years my senior, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't need to embarrass her. I need to, this woman killed me. This woman was spiking, hitting me with a birdie. It was absolutely humiliating as I tried to play badminton with this woman who absolutely destroyed me. And I know she got a kick out of beating this American guy. She got a big kick out of it. But I had such a great time there playing badminton and interacting with people and learning about the culture. And, in Doraville and other parts of Atlanta, we've got all of these cultures that have come to our doorstep, and we have such an opportunity to interact with people, to get to know these cultures, don't we? I mean, it's such a great opportunity.
That's why I don't want to make a mayor think I'm just trying to say something, but Mayor Garment is the one. He kept his promise. After he been elected the mayor, he did reach out the diversity community. I'd be very happy to work with him. That's very good. Thank you, Mayor, for that for us.
Well, that's great. Well, Charlene, thank you, and I look forward to getting to know you later and doing things with the association. So and helping the Taiwanese and Chinese community, particularly, and other international communities in Doraville, learn how to save money on their power bill.
Yes.
Thank you. So thanks a lot. Maya, how you doing? You are the one that's going to help us focus on human trafficking today. It's always a little bit of a sad topic as we bring it up, because I get mad, Maya. Every time I start talking about this, I just get mad. I get mad that there are girls and little boys in our community that are being taken advantage of, abused. I mean, you deal with this, especially in the international community. Tell us how you got started.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. My name is Maya Hasek. Like you said, I do work in the anti-human trafficking program. Tapestry actually got started in 1996 as a coalition of different nonprofit agencies that came together to work with specifically victims of domestic violence within the refugee and immigrant communities, because there wasn't many organizations out there that specialized in working with international communities. Fast forward, we then became a project of another nonprofit, and in 2002, we finally incorporated into our own 501c3. But I will say, when the federal definition of human trafficking came out in the year 2000, we realized that we were not only dealing with survivors of domestic violence, but there was another aspect to their stories. And now that we had, then we had a definition of human trafficking. We realized we were also working with victims of human trafficking who were also victims of domestic violence. And 2004 is when we officially started our anti-human trafficking program. So you're right. I agree with you completely that this is a topic that makes many people angry and sad because it just takes away individuals' human rights.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a mouthful. Sorry.
Faith, we've talked on the Unholy Tour, with lots of different folks, and we've made our way even through down Peachtree Industrial, down Buford Highway on our Unholy Tour. I mean, how important is it to have someone really focused on the international community that sometimes don't have the voice that others have?
Oh, it's huge. And there are definitely barriers to working with the refugee and immigrant communities. Language barrier. If you don't speak the same language as the people that you're trying to, it's very difficult to get anywhere. And also you have systemic issues. You have increased poverty. You have a distrust sometimes for the system because the system doesn't always work for them. So Maya, what are some of the specific challenges that you face working with the international population, and what are the ways that you guys have overcome those?
Sure. There are many challenges, but I think number one challenge is, just fear of coming forward and accepting services and, what that will mean for them, because many individuals, they're kind of underground. They don't want to be, known to law enforcement or to other individuals because they fear what might happen to them if they should come forward. So it's really critical, just like with any victim of human trafficking or victim of any crime, to build that trust and to educate them about our systems and opportunities and services that are available. But I do agree the language and knowledge of culture is really critical when we're trying to assist international victims.
Well, Maya, I want to thank you for the good work that you do. How can folks find out about your organization?
Oh, thank you so much. They can visit our website, www.tapestry.org, and that's tapestry with an I at the end, R and representing refugees, I representing immigrants.org.
Well, thank you very much, Maya. And we need to have her on the Unholy Tour, Faith.
Yeah. I'm putting her in my database for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Maya.
Thank you, Maya. Hey, it's good to see our friend Russell Seifert with Creative Solar today. Russell, we always have a clean energy done right segment. And I am hearing that because of what I was able to do with my colleagues with net metering in 2019, that you guys are seeing a real uptick in requests for bids for products on homes and otherwise. Is that true?
It's very true. The uptick has been incredible, and I think because of it, it's drawn national attention. And you have even some of these national solar companies coming in. There is a plus to that. It makes the market a little bit more competitive, and the benefit of that is the consumer gets the best value for the dollar, definitely. And also because of that attention that's been brought on, communities and folks that don't have just the cash to dispose of, which is a lot of money. There's new finance programs coming out every day, it seems. And, you've got to be careful of what you present, but it's helped a lot of consumers that have these energy bills. They want solar on their roofs. They want to be a part of the action that's taking place here. And it's been really good. We're very, very grateful. And a lot of small business owners now who really, if you look at it, they pay the brunt of the electricity bill because they are in those high voltage range. They don't use enough to where they are able to get the lower rates. They're really benefiting. And if you look at what the average savings on a lot of these small business owners, some of it's equivalent to having 2 or 3 more employees to put on payroll. And it's 2 forms of a job creation. So the economics are extremely impacting.
Russell, we don't have a lot of time today. Folks can find out more about you at Creative Solar USA, right? Is that creativesolarusa.com?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right up there. Yep.
Yeah. So let me ask you, if a person, views this either live or later, and most folks view our stream later, it sits on Twitter and 4 different Facebook accounts. So if they're thinking, could solar be right for me? What are some of the things they need to look at? The shade, the age of their roof. What are things you ask people?
Those are really good questions, Commissioner. And I think everybody needs to be educated. It's something very simple that you can do. Look at your house on Google Earth. Are there parts of your roof facing east or west or south? Number one, that would be a good indicator. Number one, never look at the north side. If somebody proposes the north side, just run as fast as you can. Secondly, is that have somebody look at your roof. If your roof is maybe 10 or more years old, have somebody look at it. Most solar companies, they should have the knowledge to identify the roof. And if there's even a question, they need to have a roofer come look at it or refer a roofer to you, because the worst thing for customer relations for any solar company is to put a solar array on your roof, and 2 years later a roofer says, "Oh, you need a new roof." That means that us as a solar company, we did not provide the customer with accurate information. We just wanted to get the sale. So that's real important to do. I think those 2 things right there are a key indicator, and then having the ability of finance options that they can provide.
Russell, that's something I never considered, the fact that you could put solar on your roof and then need a new roof in 2 years. What happens to your solar installment? Can it be taken off and reinstalled?
Right.
Or
so
is it just done?
Yeah, exactly. So what do? Well, here's what's interesting is we've had some nasty storms over the course of years. And a lot of people, when you initially start, they say, well, what about hail? What's amazing is the solar panels are so resilient to hail damage, but the rest of the roof is not. Okay. So when an insurance company when a claim is filed for having your roof replaced, they have to fix in the budget as well as having the solar array taken off and put back on. Your insurance company should cover that. So it's real important. So if there's listeners out there saying, well, they're not covering that. Oh, they should. And so this way, it's not an expense to the homeowner. But if the roof is just aged enough to where it needs replacing, that's when they need to have that done.
Well, Russell, I want to thank you for being on the show today, and all of our guests. And I've got a 9:30 at the commission. We do our committees every week. So I'm vice chair. I run the committees. I have to be there. So, and you saw me scrambling. My computer needed to be plugged in. So what did I say about the electrical plug? I live my life around electrical.
There you go.
So thank you, Russell. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
I appreciate all the trudging you guys do down there to help those that are being victimized. Thank you so much. Charlene, our good citizen, we honor you today. Thank you so much. And Mayor, man, it sounds like your constituents like you. That's always a good thing. So, all right, everyone, we appreciate you being on Community Focus. Faith, where are we going next week?
So next week we'll be down in LaGrange, so quite a ways from Doraville. That's quite a trip. And then we'll be in Beaufort the week after and College Park the week after that. So we'll be back in the metro in the next 3 weeks.
All right, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you soon, I hope.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.